Hey everybody, it's Alex here, and on today's episode of the YaBonks Show, I have a very special guest with me today. You might already know him. This is Trav, otherwise known as Travis from Wolf Capital, and Wolf Capital is an innovative new ROI staking app that it has a diversified portfolio that funds the rewards to stakers, and it has a team-based gamification element called Wolf Packs that includes boosted rewards and a lottery system for the most powerful Wolf Pack. So, Travis, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit and say hi to the audience?
Yeah. Hey, what's up? I'm Travis, owner, CEO, Wolf Capital. Thank you for having me, man. Good to be here.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming on my show. I've heard a lot about your project over the past couple weeks. I've seen people talking about it in my Discord server, and then some mutual acquaintances said we had to get together and talk, and now we're here. So
Finally, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to picking apart Wolf Capital, seeing how it works on the inside, looking at the tokenomics or the mechanisms to see how sustainable all of this is, and to look at your different investments that fund the rewards for those stakers, and also looking at some of the innovative stuff you have, like the Wolf Packs and the lottery system, as well as some of the new stuff you're rolling out that I heard today on the James Pelton AMA you did, which is really cool. So
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Do you have any news or announcements that you want to let the audience know about before we dive into it?
Just a couple things. Some of the stuff that we haven't really dug into publicly. We're looking to expand, and that route, we've kind of pretty much have a definitive idea what direction we're going to kind of expand the ecosystem in. Currently, right now, in the future, we don't have a timeline on, but it is already being on the works. It's going to be our own personal blockchain. We're going to launch it hopefully sometime this year. We've got a team of guys that are working on it already that helped us build up Wolf Capital, help build the contract, the site, the UI. That's part of Aria's idea and plan. So we went ahead and jumped the gun on it, and we're going to get that started. Hopefully by the end of the year we can have that running. So
I did not see that coming.
No, that's it's going to open up a lot of doors.
Interesting. So if I understood your latest announcement correctly, you are going to be launching your own blockchain with the team of developers that you have been working with on Wolf Capital.
Yeah, I don't know the specifics, what it can hold or transaction wise. I vaguely remember him saying something around 200,000 transactions a second or something like that. Wow. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if it's true.
I won't.
I'm technical side of it, I don't know much about it. So, but all I know is we're definitely going to do that. That's the big one. We're looking at ways to bring in more resources for external revenue. One of them being Ria's, our dev. Again, his idea. He's got an arbitrage bot that he's been working on for well over 6-8 months. That works off of a node inside the contract. So we have roughly anywhere from 50 to 100K that sits in the contract outside the portfolio. What we're going to do is we're basically going to use that arbitrage bot to generate more revenue inside the contract. So, we won't have to pull, and basically at the same time, the money that's just sitting there, not doing anything, it can also generate some source of revenue. So those are kind of the two big things right now that we're focusing on.
Interesting. So a blockchain is in development. Is it going to be called like Wolf Chain or something like that?
We haven't gotten that far yet. Basically got a plan laid out, or I should say, he basically got the plan laid out with uh, his guys, his tech guys that help out. Basically, his team got it all laid out. They're been working on it, I guess, already. So we're hopefully we'll get some sort of timeline out in the next couple months. We kind of see where everything's at, where we're at. That's also dependent on how the staking the app continues over the next couple months. Make sure we're getting what we're supposed to be getting on the external revenue side. So a lot of things got in place that are way more important than that blockchain. But yeah, that's something that's in the works, and we are looking into the future, but we're trying to make sure that we focus on the now. So
interesting. Well, thanks for dropping the big future looking news, some of your grand plans that are coming down the road. So we've got a blockchain cited in the distant future with your dev team, brewing something up there. That'll be interesting to watch how that all unfolds. And then you also said that that Ria, your main dev, is working on a custom arbitrage bot that he's been building for a long time, and it works within the smart contract using some of the TVL in there to arbitrage different sources of capital and create additional revenue that way, correct?
Yeah, correct. Because that money's just sitting there, and it's used for withdrawing purposes to make sure we can cover the withdrawals that are happening, the claims, because you're allowed 7 days to claim, in between 7 and 10 days to claim whatever your weekly profits are. So we just leave that there so that way, just in case we don't want to run out. But most of the time it's just sitting there at 50,000, 50 to 60,000. So with it just sitting there, there's possibly, even if it's just a simple 3%, 0.5% a week. I mean, that's $3,000. So that's something that we've we need to do to make sure we're using everything at our disposal to continue to generate some sort of revenue.
Interesting. Very cool. So thanks for the updates and the news. Now, where does the name Wolf Capital come from?
So Wolf Capital, that come up with me and Aria. So basically, the idea behind Wolf Capital was Aria. 99.9% of it. I come off of WCMRB USD, and after that, I wanted to take a break from DeFi because being an owner of a D app is stressful beyond belief.
Yeah.
So I took several months off. But in the background, we were planning Wolf Capital, and I went to Aria because he's a good buddy of mine. Trust him, great, solid guy, good friend, better partner, and I'm telling you, he's one solid guy. So went to him, told him my ideas, and he was like, "That's terrible. I got a better one." So. And we come up with, he basically gave me the lowdown on what he had. I suggested a few things. We both suggested a few things. Wolf Capital happened. Then the name was just kind of a back and forth thing. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And we're like, we like that one. So yeah, we went with it.
Cool. And what blockchain network is Wolf Capital on? And does this trade on a DEX?
No. So I mean, it's a decentralized smart contract. It's on the BSC chain. So you just a normal staking D app DeFi. You go in USDC. And the reason why we picked USDC is at the time when we launched, there wasn't any of that FUD from Circle going on. It was all about how bad BUSD was.
Right.
So that's why we picked USDC. Here, a month later, here comes Circle. So yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's DeFi for you.
I know, right? We're like, we tallied up all the pros and cons of USDT, BUSD, USDC. We're like, all right, USDC is obviously safer. So we went with it. And, now we're like, we should have picked BUSD.
Well, I am confident in both personally. So
I am
obviously
too. Yeah.
anything can happen, but if I have stables in a wallet, I usually split it between BUSD and USDC, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think it's going anywhere regardless
Nah,
of
I don't
what
think so either.
the fudders in the news say.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you want to explain for the viewers who might not know what an ROI staking app is? So what is an ROI staking app?
All right. So basically, ROI staking apps, like a dime a dozen, there's several of them. The end gist is you stake your stable coin on the platform. End of the day, you get a return, whatever that is per day. Ours is 1% to 2%. Well, we kind of innovated the idea of staking. It's kind of in our white paper. We talked about reinventing staking together. The reason why we chose that slogan was because that's kind of what DeFi is about. Is should be all working together, and that's kind of where we come up with that whole slogan and the idea. So the innovative part is it's not only just you're staking your coin, but you're also joining a team. So we call it wolf packs, where you can either start one on your own or you can join one. We do have caps on how many can be in one wolf pack, so that way there's not just a huge amount of people in one, which that depends on how much ROI you get between the 1% and 2%. The largest one right now, I think is DeFi Snipers. They've been around since day one. They're generating 2% a day. But yeah, just like that chart right there. So yeah, for example, that's your extra percent. So our base is 1%. Everybody gets the one, and then depending on your wolf pack, how many people is in it, and then how much money you bring in is dependent on that extra 1%. So you have to work together. You have to shield together. You got to do all that, and that's the innovative part of it. And no one what we have found in DeFi is doing this sort of thing. So that's what makes it very unique.
Interesting. So I pulled up the dashboard here for your app, and if you go to wolf packs, you can see all the different wolf packs. It takes a second to load, but here we go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so people can kind of see what's going on here. So it says Wolfpack. We've got a ranking system, Wolfpack names, how many members, and the total amount staked. And right now, DeFi Snipers Wolfpack is in the lead with 360 members and 371,000 plus dollars staked.
Yeah, those guys are killing it.
Interesting. How long has this been? When did you start this project?
February 16th. Yeah, those are launch day.
So like a month and 3 weeks ago, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the TVL currently is $104,000.
Yeah.
And then here it says total investments are $766 plus $1,000. What is the difference between the TVL shown here and total investments shown here?
Yeah, so the difference is, that's what's in the contract right now is that TVL, that 104,000. What we don't have on there yet is just because we're running issues with our API, with the platforms that we're using. We don't have a way to converge the portfolio into one API key to establish it on the site. So what we're thinking about doing is just go ahead and just entering it manually every Monday, because that's when we send out our external reports. But the difference is our portfolio. So we take everything that's staked. We leave a little bit in the contract. but everything else that is staked, we put it into our portfolio that's run with our trading bots, or several different ones, DCA bots, grid bots, futures bots. What's the other one? AI bot. It's very conservative AI bot, I should say. It's not aggressive bot at all.
Okay.
But yeah, we allocate in different percentages. So just kind of, for example, like our futures, right, deals with a lot of leverage trading. It is the most profitable bot that we have. There's, and when I mean just, it's not just one bot. There's several different settings, different mechanisms, different trigger points, different coins. But on the future side, it's our most profitable, but it's also the highest risk. So we only use 15% of the portfolio towards it, just because it's leverage trading. Everybody knows that if you just have one bad leverage trade, it can hurt for a very long time. So we try to allocate just a small amount there. Our grid bots are our lowest risk ones. Those are that's not any leverage. It's just a pure grid bot. We usually run around 75 to 85,000. Probably next week we'll probably up it another 10 and run probably somewhere around 95,000 through it. It's a very low risk. It also generates quite a bit of profit. Sometimes it's about, I would say probably right around 1.2% to 0.75% a day. On a good volatile day, it can actually
say that again. This is the futures bot, right?
No, this is a grid bot.
Oh, your grid bot. Oh, how much is your grid bot doing a day?
Anywhere from about 0.7 to about a 1% a day.
What?
Average right now. So yeah, there's slow days though. Like on the weekends when you don't have everybody trading, it's very, very, very slow. But during the weekday, especially when you have a lot of market news that comes out about different sectors, like inflation, stuff like that, it can do a pretty decent day. I think the biggest day it's ever done was about 6% in one day.
What? That's wild, man.
It was it was crazy. But
you jumped ahead into a lot of my other questions, so I'm gonna.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's totally cool. That was a great explanation of how this all is tied together, and I want to just reiterate. So the difference between the total value locked here and the total investments here is that total investments is the amount in your portfolio that is generating revenue.
The total investments is actually just how much has come in. That's actually been totally invested. There is still a difference between the portfolio, and plus the contract balance, just because we've been running since February 16th. We've had claims every week. So the number's not 766. It's closer to right around 520 or so right now, 520,000.
Okay.
Yeah, this afternoon I think it was right at 520.
The portfolio.
Portfolio plus the contract.
Portfolio plus the and the total value locked shown here. That's the value in the smart contract, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There's really no easy way to try to keep all the numbers separate because of the calls that are on the contract. But I try to add them in once a week because we do those weekly reports. And so I'll just take whatever the contract balance is sitting at that Monday, and then plus what our portfolio is sitting at Monday, add them together. There's your total value locked. So yeah, so this was Monday. So we had 415,386. That was actually a really good week. We did that was a 9% week.
Wow.
The week before that was really slow. I think it was only like 4.1. But the week before that one was like a 10.2. So it varies. A lot of different things happening every day. So you have to really keep up.
Just to see if I understand this correctly, the total investments here is the total amount of capital that has been staked over the lifetime of this thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the entire amount that's come in.
And then the total value locked here is the amount that's actually in the smart contract that is currently not doing anything except being the liquidity for the rewards distribution every
Correct.
7 days or so. And then you are saying in the news we talked about earlier that RIA is building this arbitrage bot that will be able to utilize this in a relatively low risk manner to do arbitrage trading with and generate potentially
some more revenue. Yep.
A couple of $1,000 extra a week to go into the portfolio, which is shown here as of Monday, which is, God, I don't even know what day it is anymore.
Tuesday, so yesterday.
So yesterday, the portfolio value was $415,000, and that does not include this total value locked, right?
No, that does not. So yeah, we're sitting about 400 or 520. $520,000.
So just to conclude that the total value locked here is how much is in the actual smart contract, and the total investments number here is the total amount staked since this project started, and the portfolio amount is shown on the weekly reports. Like this one from yesterday has about $415,000 in the portfolio, currently working to generate revenue for stakers, and then there's an additional $104,000 TVL in the smart contract. So total capital floating around in this system right now is about $520,000 from a total amount staked of $766,000 since it started. So that's how it all breaks down. The difference there, I'm guessing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is development expenses, marketing expenses, affiliate fees, and things like that.
Yeah, so we have fees for deposits only. We don't fee or tax the withdrawals. So it's just a 10% going in, and it's 2% for development, 3% to owner, and 4% to marketing. And then the 1% that's left over is what feeds the lottery that we run every week. So
okay. All right, so that was actually my next question. Are there any deposit or withdrawal fees? And you're saying a 10% deposit fee and 0% withdrawal fee, right?
Withdrawal, correct. Yeah, so we do that basically just because we want to be able to market day one. I ran in this on Pelton's AMA today. They talked about, well, why don't you just profit off of the returns? It makes sense. Yes, true. That does make sense. I actually never even thought about that in the beginning when we launched. That's actually pretty decent idea. But then I thought about it. I was like, well, we kind of need a market, and to wait that long to get some sort of percentage. And plus, it would kind of ruin the investors in the long run. If there was profit sharing that went to me for making the money for them. So I think it just up front, right out of the gate, we can be able to market, spend what we need to spend, development, upgrade contract, all that good stuff.
So there is 10% deposit fee only. And as you were saying, you are not doing a performance fee. You are doing a one-time deposit fee. And I understand there are pros and cons to either way you go. So, okay, good to know. Now, is there a minimum deposit amount if somebody wanted to participate in this?
Yeah, it's 10 USD is minimum. We started with 50. We dropped it to 10 to help out with the DeFi snipers. They're Wolfpack. They started a 50-50. Whenever they claim, they take 50 of what they claim, they reinvest the other 50. Because we don't have a compound feature to help with the sustainability part,
Okay.
So they just reinvest 50% of their claims. So that way it helps us, being that they're the largest wolf pack. It helps us keep the contract healthy. And then at the same time gives us the amount of time we need to generate more profits for the long run.
I see. And that was another one of my questions. Can you compound rewards back into your staking position, or do you need to create a new staking position for each deposit?
Yeah, you have to create a new stake. We didn't add that compound feature just for the fact of it's hard enough to sustain this. So putting that in would just that's like throwing the knife at it. There's just no way. So and to kind of help out too with that sustainability part, we mentioned that too in Pelton's AMA. We're looking to upgrade our contract. No timeline on it. It's already in the works. We're already got Aria. He's got guys on it. So once that code's finished, we'll apply it. We can adjust the divs per week based off of what we're doing.
Okay, and I have some questions about that process. We will get to that here in a minute. Is there a minimum lock staking period of time? If somebody stakes here, are they locked up for any period of time?
Yeah, it's locked for 60 days.
Okay, so if I were to deposit the $10 minimum into this contract, that would be locked up for 60 days. And is there any period of time that I can claim the rewards? What's the claiming frequency that a staker is allowed?
Yeah, it's every 7 to 10 days. So once you stake, you have 7 days to claim. If you don't claim within the 7 to 10 day mark, you stop accumulating divs until you do claim, because we want you to claim. That's the whole point. We don't want you to sit, leave it in there and forget about it. We want you to enjoy your profits.
I see. Okay. And so your external sources of revenue to support all this, because with what I'm seeing here, there's a 1% base reward per day.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to put $100 in here, you're saying every day I would be able to pull out $1, or every week I'd be able to pull out basically $1 per day. So like every week I'd be able to pull out $7 out of my 100, and my 100 stays in there for 60 days. But every 7 days I can withdraw that $7 base value, and then I can either create a brand new stake position with it, or I could just go my merry way with my $7, right?
Correct.
But then you're also saying if you're part of a wolf pack, you can get those boosted rewards up to potentially 2% per day. So you would get an additional daily bonus here of up to 1% if the combined team stake is $50,000 or more. So if I were to join like the DeFi snipers,
but also
my buddy,
how many people?
Yeah,
how many people are in that wolf pack as well? It's not just the 50,000. So not just one person can put 50,000 in and then get that extra percent. You have to have a team of, I believe it's 100 people.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Team members. I see. There's another column to the table. So there we go. So you would have to have 100 team members minimum and $50,000 minimum to get the 1% extra daily bonus. And so here's the table. Go check out the white paper if anybody's interested in this. And the amount of teams that qualify for that are the top 3. The top 3 teams seem to have over 100 members and over $50,000 staked each. So these top 3 teams, which is like 500 or 600 people total, if you combine them all, they're all getting 2% per day on this, all added up, which is like 600,000 something, 700,000. So like it seems the majority of the people joining Wolfpack are jumping into one of the top teams for obvious reasons. They'll be getting the full max reward boost. That totally makes sense. Now, what
Hmm.
my main question, I guess, in terms of strategy here, is why would someone join any other wolf pack than the top one, two, or three?
So because the top one and two are capped out, unless you can manage to find a way to get a referral from somebody from that team, there's no way for you to join it. Uh, and then obviously the third team, you're more than welcome to join it, and there's no reason not to. But we try to incentivize if we can in our social media platforms to help out the other teams. I've mentioned it several times in our community. If you want to start your own and you need help filling and you need help, getting your Wolfpack's name out there to the other community to get some more people to join, to reach out, and we would help you with that. We that's kind of the idea behind it, is to work together, and that includes, of course, me and Ox and our team. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So the only way to get into the top two right now, it's invite only. So one of the wolves
mhm.
in these wolf packs would have to give you a personal invite link. You can't just
Yeah,
come here as a stranger and click join. Uh,
right,
there's only one that qualifies for the max reward, Team STI at this time. That's stranger could just join it, get the full boost up to 2% rewards. Now, this is going to be everybody's main question from my audience. 1 to 2% rewards per day is unbelievable to me. How long can you sustain this?
well, that's kind of where you kind of have to look at the numbers from what we've generated in the past from our portfolio. At the end of the day, whenever everything's finished, the week's end, our goal is to be a non-Ponzi economic DApp platform, uh, and we're going to do that. There are different external revenues that we've tried to explore other than bot trading, but the risk and the reward side isn't quite where we want it to be. So as far as external revenue is concerned, we're doing 9% last week, 4.3 or 4.2 or something like that. The week before that, 10.2. The week before that, if you just go in and look at our numbers, you can see that we're getting there. Um, the community helping out with their 50-50 reinvestment strategies, that helps a lot. Uh, but once we upgrade that contract and we're able to change the divs around little by little, depending on how we're doing each week and performance wise from the external revenue side, that'll also help out a lot. So at the end of the day, non-Ponzi, that's where we want to be.
Okay, and now if this ever becomes unsustainable, if you see it heading towards a scary place, say these rewards from your portfolio aren't as pretty. I mean, this is incredible. If you ask me, even 4% per week, that's pretty amazing. 10%
Right.
per week, incredible. And that's not including the arbitrage bot that would be working on that other $100,000 you guys got sitting in there right now. That would add
Right.
additional. But let's say the market has a bad week and it throws off your bots, or one of your bots, messes up or something. Do you have any way to prevent like a bank run or this thing just becoming unsustainable?
Yeah. So, we have several protocols in place for that. One of them, which I really like, just kind of a little intro to it. Basically it's a trading hole, just like in the stock market when something's very volatile. Uh, the SEC halts it.
You got you got circuit breakers, huh?
Yeah. So same thing. If we see a drop or foresee a drop coming, we'll stop with all withdrawals, basically halt everything, assess the situation at hand, um, and kind of go through and see what either the community thinks if we should keep going, see what the consensus is, If it's to shut down, then it's to shut down and refund everybody's money. But what we won't let happen is a bank run, because I've seen a bank run. I've been in one. WC Miner BUSD had a bank run. I felt absolutely terrible. That's not something I want to see ever happen again, because we had a guy that had like 125K staked in it, who was sleeping when it happened, and he only got back like $25,000. So, that's the part where I feel terrible, and the fact that I couldn't do anything makes it even worse. So that's why we put this in the contract, so that way I can do something. I can stop it from happening and issue withdrawals to everybody at the right amount. Everybody gets their money back. No hard feelings. Do it the right way.
Yeah, I think a circuit breaker element is very important in certain DeFi projects. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that goes against the spirit of DeFi. Like, I should be able to make more money than that guy who was sleeping because he was sleeping and I wasn't. And maybe that person
just
lied
like
2 or 3 times already, and that guy had only gotten 25% of his initial back, right? Like, because of the timing of things. And
that's almost just as bad as rug pull. I don't believe in that one bit. If you're sleeping and a bank run hits, that's one thing you're going to wish you had. So yeah, we're not doing that. If I'm in charge of it, we're going to be fair.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, and I think that changes up how these ROI dApps have worked in the past. Because that would make them a very scary situation, at least for me personally. Everybody would just like emergency on stake, and I'd be like, oh, I was too late, right? It's like a game of musical chairs in the olden days of DeFi last year, essentially. So that's good. Yeah, you guys are implementing something like this. Now, how hard is it for you to implement this? Do you guys have a proxy contract that you can swap?
No, it's not proxy.
Are you going to migrate to a new smart contract?
No, it's not a proxy. It's actually just the call function on the contract that I put in my wallet address and just click a button and it happens. But no, we are actually looking to migrate to a proxy contract. That's the idea on the upgrade, so we can put our arbitrage bot in it, and also do some upgradable features. Like we've got a really good consensus of everybody wanting a claim all button. So because a lot of them have done that 50-50 reinvestment strategy. So they've got a ton of stakes, and each week you got to go in and hit 12 stakes. So we're looking to upgrade a few things, make the feature a lot easier for the investor.
Okay, that makes sense. And for anybody who read the audit, by the way, that this is audited by the Stamp, and this was actually a very insightful audit. They really broke down the potential risk vectors of the smart contract if Travis here were a nefarious fellow. And that's why it's always, do you trust the team running the project? Because all of these have some element of centralization, essentially. And if they don't, then they probably have a whole bunch of other issues that you should know about. So it's always a pro and con type situation. Know the risk and the potential rewards to make informed decisions. Now, with what you were saying with the migration to a new smart contract, they did put a note in here about backdoors section related to the function migrate. So they're saying the owner could migrate
well, that's just not a
contract. And I'm not saying this is bad, by the way. I'm saying
no.
If you trust Travis here, then I don't think he's going to migrate the TVL to his personal wallet and disappear into the night, right? But you have that power if you were such a character. Am I right?
Right. But that's not like a migrate, like I'm going to migrate to another contract thing. This is a migrate so that way we can use the funds to generate that external revenue. That's all that is.
Right. Yeah, they
Yeah.
exactly. So
And I don't really quite agree that they put backdoor on there. That's kind of been a thing for me, because we did disclose this like day one, like because that is the entire basis of why we wanted to make this sustainable, so that way we can pull what's in there out. Um, but the but the reasoning behind they called it that is because there's nothing else to call it, is what I was told. So
yeah, I mean, and this is a
in the
potential
yeah,
risk vector. So this is saying
right,
this smart contract, because if somebody were to fork your smart contract and they were a bad guy and
right,
they were to say, hey, this is a fork of Wolf Capital, you know how that project went so well potentially. But then they know about maybe they're going to migrate the funds out of the
right,
contract into their personal wallet, but you actually have to have this for your project, the migrate function, so you can move funds in and out of the smart contract essentially to your
correct,
portfolio that's generating the revenue that then pays back the rewards to the stakers, correct?
correct. Yeah, man,
Okay.
that was kind of the whole idea.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And I actually think it's a really great audit, by the way. I
Oh
read
yeah, they did a great job.
I read a
Great
million
job.
I read a million of these things, and this is very thorough, and it's
Hmm.
explained in plain English, so you can understand the potential risk vectors of a certain smart contract. But at the end of the day, it always comes down to: do you trust the team? Do you trust the person who has ownership control over this smart contract? Or the multi sig? Do you trust the team on the multi sig that owns this smart contract?
Right.
Speaking of which, that's my next question. Who owns the smart contract?
I do. So I'm the only one that can pull funds out of it, and I guess what put funds in it. Yeah, I'd be the only one that could put funds in it, uh, pull funds out of it. Um, I'm in charge of the trading. We run on 4 different centralized exchanges. I'm not going to name them all. Technically, uh, I'm not supposed to be on one of them because it's in Europe. Uh, but that's the only way we can use our futures side of it. So, uh,
Okay.
but yeah, I try not to allocate too much on one. I try to split it up into uh, different percentages, because you don't always want one thing that much money on one exchange, because
For sure.
we've seen them disappear overnight, and everybody goes,
FTX,
"Where's my money?"
anybody? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, so no, we do risk management based off of that too. So
Okay, good. So that it sounds like you have diversified the portfolio. You have
yes,
diversified even within that to the platforms that your trading bots trade on. And I know you didn't want to mention one of the dexes or exchanges, I should say. One of the they're more centralized actually. So one of the exchanges that you're trading futures on. But can you let us know anything about the trading bots? Like whose trading bots you're using? Is it like a
oh yeah.
Pionex type bot, or what are you using
No,
there?
so I use 3 commas. You can create your own strategies, and build your own pretty much. But their system is flawless. I really like it. I've used it for years. Um, so I've tested my ideas, my strategies that I've used forever, in commodities, and basically did the same basis to change a few things just because of volatility reasons. Because crypto is extremely volatile.
For sure.
That's why it's so profitable.
Yeah,
um,
grid bots love volatility.
oh my gosh, yeah, it's insane. Those grid bots generate so much freaking money.
Yeah.
But
You'll have to send
um,
me your grid bot settings after this, by the way. Just
everybody, you know how many DMs I get on that grid bot, and everybody wants to know the grid bot settings. uh,
yeah.
but yeah, it's a good platform, and I can connect majority of uh, all the other platforms to it, so it really helps.
All right. So the bots are 3 comma bots, 3 commas.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's for the futures, the grid bots, the DCA bots, and the AI bots?
Yep, they have an AI bot too.
Okay,
But
and do those bots just work with the central exchange's APIs?
yes.
Okay, so that's how you diversify across the central exchanges using this bot system. All right, good to know. And what is your max drawdown on any bot? Like how crazy are you playing this? I should.
So yeah, every single one of them actually runs, except for the grid bot. Grid bot has a 0.5% stop loss,
Okay.
meaning that if there is a sudden drop in, for example, BTC, because I do run those extremely tight, like a 0.1%, it goes off and does a trade. So in Bitcoin, that's like, a few bucks, and that thing moves a few bucks all the time. So like a 0.5% drawdown from the base on a grid bot, it turns off and then converts all the BTC into USDT, and it sits there until I turn it back on or change the settings.
Okay.
But usually, what I do is once that happens, I just wait. I'll let everything kind of settle down, see where it does dip, and then I'll restart it back up.
Okay.
But for the futures, all of them run stop losses, no more than 1.8%. And then, which they all use. Well, I can't say they all use. Yeah, they're all different when it comes to size of the trades. None of them ever trade anything more than 10,000. If there's anything more than that, it's usually me that's doing it. For example, when we got to like 28, a little over 28,000 BTC a while back, I did like a 20,000 short. Just anything with a large amount of money, I'll do that manually. But most of them all have about a 1.8% stop loss, especially in the futures. I never run any of them ever without stop losses.
Yeah, so, leveraged trading can get ugly real quick.
Really quick, yeah, very quick.
Trust me, trust me, viewers. I've blown up.
We've had.
Be careful.
Oh yeah. We've had plenty. Yeah, I've had plenty of stop losses go off on those. Because the strategy behind me, you don't run them all the time. So you have to pick which ones you want to run with which coin you want to run, depending on what the market's doing. So I stay up to date on the news. I watch, Bloomberg. I probably watch Bloomberg like 12 hours a day. It sits in my office running all the time. So I'm watching what's coming in from any kind of news at all that has to deal with jobs, inflation, basis points, Fed, all of it. And it's not just America. I see this shit going on in China, Asia. I look for all of it.
So how you mentioned your office. So it sounds like you have a full-time job in addition to running this DeFi project. Are there any issues with time management if you're managing the trading bots all the time? And you said it's pretty manual process.
There's a lot of automation too. So, for example, I just have to click one button and they're on. They're turned on. So, and when I mean that, I pretty much watch the market for about 12 hours. They run, and then I'll switch them off and maybe switch a couple other ones on, just because of Asian market opens up about 6 p.m. my time. Our markets finish up at around 3 my time. So, I don't know. I just basically have a strategy of what my day looks like pretty much every day, because I do the same thing pretty much every day with my job. So I do have a lot of free time with my job. Just consists of basically a lot of paperwork, a lot of math. There's a couple parts of my job throughout the week where it is hard for me to get away and manually sit in front of a computer and trade manually, and also run the grid bots all the time. But for the most part, I probably get a good solid 6 to 7 hours a day managing. So
okay. Good to know.
And then plus I
And
work 13 hours a day.
so what do you do for a living, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm a directional driller
A
in the oil
directional
field.
driller.
Yeah.
Is that in the like gas and oil industry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, all the wells that are drilled now on land are all horizontal. It goes vertical in the beginning, and then it gets down to a certain point and creates a 90 and drills out horizontally to maximize your pay, so to speak. Basically, that's the easiest way I could put it. So my job is to build that curve where it goes in from vertical to horizontal. That's a lot of math, and it's kind of tricky, but yeah.
Okay. Well, it sounds like it's important work. So you're able to focus on the markets at the same time you're focusing on drilling for oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I do have a lot of free time, so it's not too much of a pain. Like I said, I'm used to working long days, long hours, so adding this on here was just it's fun.
All
So,
right. And just I don't know if you are willing to extrapolate on this, but I know in our personal talks together during our pre-screening calls, we had a lot of great conversations, one including your trading success over the years in the stock market and commodities and things like that. So you are a pretty successful trader outside of this. Would you agree?
Yeah. So when I was very young, my dad, he was also into commodities. So, ever since I was like 13, 14 years old, he's sat me down and always gone over economics, with me, and taught me pretty much what I know today. And so I kind of used that to, while I was growing up, and then pretty successful early 20s, mid 20s trading. Just always interested me. And then when COVID hit, being that I'm in oil and gas, I can pretty much know which companies are going to survive and which not because I've drilled for majority owned. I took a large amount of money and I went all in on it because all the oil companies were down to like nothing. And I knew oil's not going anywhere. It's coming back. Right. So, purchased a lot of shares on a lot of big oil companies. And then 2 years later, made a very, pretty successful, small fortune out of it. And yeah, I wish the only problem I had was I didn't have more money I could have thrown into it. So,
that's amazing.
Wife wasn't too happy, but 2 years later she was.
Yeah, I bet she was. Man, I remember when a barrel of oil was negative $40 or less, and
yeah,
I was looking at it like,
day.
Is this real? And I didn't have any money at the time. I didn't have any dry powder to throw in. I wish I did, because man, you made a strong play there. So that's really cool. Good for you, man. You got a lot of experience trading. You experienced great success with especially with that massive trade that you basically went all in on and won. So man, that's a success story I love hearing.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's good. And the reason I bring all that up is because people will ask, well, what are this guy's credentials for managing this portfolio? And there you go. So
yeah, I know, I get it.
Yep. Also, have you ever worked on any other projects before?
Yeah. So this is actually the third one I've started. First one is a WC miner that's running right now. Currently still running. There's not much in there. There was at one point, but like I said, it's still running, and it's a miner. So those are kind of built to not last forever. So surprisingly, yeah, it's still running. Guys are active quite a bit. We still get deposits out every now and again. I don't really make anything from it. So a lot of my attention right now is on this because this is a game changer in my eyes. In DeFi, just because it's so new and innovative, nobody's really had any success here. So, but yeah, and then WC Miner BUSD, which was a Wealth Mountain fork, and we kind of all know how those turn out. I did not know that when I started it because none had failed yet. And then shortly right after, like the first one and then the second one, and I was like, okay, it's going to end the same way. But yeah.
Okay. So are there any ties between, other than the name, are there any ties between Wolf Capital, this project, and those previous projects?
No. So that, it's not there's no ties in between the two. They're mine. That's about the only thing. All right. It's two separate, each one of them had their own dev. Wolf Capital, we have Aria. So, yeah.
Speaking of Aria, that is my next question. Who else is on the core team, and what countries are everybody from?
I'm from Texas.
Hey.
That's yeah. And then we have Aria, he's Bulgarian. And then we have a number of guys that are in our Telegram channel or mods. And then we've got a couple guys that kind of help out with the codes and stuff like that. And then we have a really cool Chat GPT Telegram bot.
Nice.
So we've got Gastow. He's another guy. He kind of helps out. Me and him kind of been working together on that. And then, but yeah, it's just kind of all around a bunch of different guys. Everybody, pitching in, helping out in the community. So,
all right. And are any of the team members KYC'd, and by whom?
Yeah, me and Aria both. We're both docs with Anani Docs. He's got his for D Mountain whenever he had that running, and then I have mine with WC Miner, and then plus I have one for Wolf Capital. So we've been through that. So he's basically big brother. Any kind of wrongdoing anybody suspects at all, you can always bring it to his attention, and then he'll talk with me, or he'll go investigate himself, and then whatever he finds out, he'll let me know, and then he'll just either, if there is no wrongdoing, then he'll let me know. If there is, and he'll go to his contact with the FBI, and then that's where all that stuff happens. So, but
all right, and
I've got a family, I've got kids, I've got a wife. It's a great job. I don't plan on doing anything stupid.
And you are in Texas. So, Texas doesn't mess around, I should say.
We don't,
So, my other question related to this, and why all of these preliminary questions were so important, is, and you answered this earlier, who is, at the end of the day, accountable for all of the funds in this project between the portfolio and the smart contract? What wallets have control of those funds, and bank accounts have control of those funds, and also who owns the smart contracts and can change the values and make the function calls in those smart contracts?
Just me. I'm the only one. Right.
Okay, that makes my life easy. So if it's just you, I'm assuming there are no multi-sigs involved here, correct?
No.
All right.
No.
So at the end of the day, you are KYC'd, you're publicly doxed. You could see you right there in front of me. You're not using a fake profile picture or avatar, and you are the only person accountable for all of the funds in here. So theoretically, you're the only person that could rug pull and run off with the money, and if you did so, it'd be really stupid. You're saying because you got a beautiful family and job, and you're in the state of Texas, which has more guns than most countries.
That is correct. 100%.
All right, cool, man. No, that makes my life easy in terms of that line of questioning. And then my last question about the team and the factors involved with the team. How is the team compensated by the protocol?
So yeah, I get 3% and that 3% of the 10% fee, and then Aria gets 2%, and then I pay the team through the owner wallet. So whatever I get, I just pay the rest of the mods and the team weekly. Take care of them, and then whatever else is needed. We try to keep everybody's mojo happy. We do different things like we have alpha rounds. We'll post it in Telegram and Twitter, and we'll do like some sort of 3% cash back or like $2,000 stake or higher. Those are just kind of random, but we post them periodically. And then like that 3% that comes from my side. So
okay,
yeah, we try to give it back to the community as much as possible.
Okay, so just to break it down, the 10% deposit fee, we've got 9% of it going back to business operations, and 5% of that is for the team. The 2% goes to the main developer, and 3% goes to you. And that 3% is also used for you to pay out the other team members, moderators, and
Correct.
things like that. And then 4% for marketing. All right, pretty straightforward. Yep. My last thing I wanted to ask about is this 1% lottery fee. Can you explain the lottery very quickly?
Yeah, so it goes to the top wolf pack. So meaning that the top wolf pack who's brought in the most deposits, and that for that 7-day period, the whole team gets the lottery, but based off each person, it won't get the same amount. It'll be based off of how big their stakes are in that wolf pack.
Okay, so
if that makes sense.
So every week, it's who staked the most amount.
The most amount in that time period. Yeah.
So in that time period for the lottery, the wolf pack that staked the most amount will win that 1% of all the deposit fees in a big lottery, and that gets split up evenly to all the members of that wolf pack. Correct?
Yeah. Not equally, but it's based off of the size of the stake. So
I see. So if I own so
like if a guy had like a right. So if there was a guy that only put in like $10, well, he's only going to get a small amount. If there's a guy that put in 10,000, he's going to get a larger amount of that lottery. So
that makes perfect sense. All right, great.
Yeah.
And then my last questions here are just really quick about the smart contract. You said Ria, your main dev, created the smart contract, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then your smart contract is audited, and who did your audit again?
The stamp.
The stamp. Okay. And you guys can check this audit out. It is in the Discord server. It's in the white paper. And like I said, it's a really well done audit, in my opinion. I read these all the time. This one was a pleasure to read, as nerdy as that sounds. And I guess my last questions are about continuity and, would the business survive if anything happened to you or any of the team members? Do you have continuity plans in place if somebody decides to move on, or God forbid, if the proverbial beer truck or bus were to hit a core team member, would you be able to survive with this project?
Yeah. So, me and Ox, we've kind of talked about that. If anything ever did happen to me, because I am the owner, I have the access to the wallets and all that. My wife knows where all that information is, passwords, C phrases, all that stuff. She knows Aria, so I've told her, anything ever happens to me, if there's $500,000 sitting here, you need to make sure to give that back. Whatever. If Aria decided that he wants to continue running it, then he can run it. But we've already kind of mapped out a whole plan of the just in case factor.
Okay, good to know. And do you think this project would survive if the bear market continued for a couple more years?
Yeah, so we're actually striving in a bear market right now. We've had consistent growth week after week. We're still generating profits week after week. We've been green every week. I don't think we would have a problem at all. I run both sides of the market, long and shorts. So there's money to be made. We can do it.
All right, great answer. And I think most experienced traders would agree that if you're only playing the bull market, you're only trading half of the market. The downside is also tradable. So good to know and good answer. Bear market, bull market, doesn't matter.
Doesn't
you
matter.
guys are still making weekly profits in your portfolio. So very cool. All right. Now, this is the big question. What do you think is the biggest risk to participants of Wolf Capital?
I think the biggest risk is basically the markets. We are very dependent on that alone. If we're sitting in there with bullish signs and everything's pointing higher, and then the United States government comes out and says crypto's banned, well, what do you think is going to happen? That shit's going to crash pretty quick.
Sure.
You're going to see BTC probably drop well below 15 in a matter of seconds. So, in terms like that, I would say that's probably the biggest risk, just because we're so reliant on those trades and external revenue and stuff like that. But again, we try to do about as good as we possibly can with risk management in terms of holding longs. I typically don't like to hold anything longer than 48 hours. I just don't see the idea behind it, just because everything's so volatile. But still, if you're holding stables, it's still a high risk. So I would say that's probably our biggest risk.
Okay, so you think the biggest risk is overall market volatility or black swan crypto regulatory event that would just
apocalyptic crypto event.
Okay. All right. And for anybody concerned about the validity and existence of your trades, is there anywhere somebody can see your trade log?
Yeah, you go to our Discord channel and our Telegram channel. They're both have our real-time trades coming in. That is sent off from a 3 commas bot that we set up. You can set one up if you have a 3 commas account. It's free. They set it up for you. So that was kind of the idea. We're like, okay, because I wanted to find a way I could show all the trades, and that was the best way I found it. And that's the reason why, one of the main reasons why we went with 3 commas, because there's a bunch of API bot sites that you can always run, but this was like the only one you can set up an actual bot to relay the messages of what's happening on the trades. So,
and I have seen that Telegram channel right there. It is very detailed, shows your entries and your exits and all that stuff. And for the different bots, that's pretty cool that 3 commas has an API that can get that you can plug into for Discord and Telegram. It's also in the Discord server. All right, great. That's probably the most frequently asked question in any kind of bot trading DeFi project. All right, now, future looking, where do you see this project in 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, and beyond?
I see us with a lot of growth. There's a lot of potential here. Something that I've repeated and I've heard you say too. In this space, it's such an entrepreneurial, early development stage sector, and the ones that are going to prosper from it are the ones that are striving in a bear market, in my opinion. But like I said, we're focusing on the now, the future, what it holds. Hopefully it's kind to us, and we're able to succeed and grow past this. And that's the idea.
Yeah. So you think Wolf Capital will still be around in 6 months?
Oh yeah, I don't see that being an issue. I just, in terms of scaling, and that aspect of it, that's kind of where we're leaning towards in 6 months and a year, and then see where it happens after that.
Maybe a wolf chain.
Yeah, wolf chain, or a couple wolf tokens running around. But yeah,
Cool.
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So that's great, and let's assume Binance Smart Chain and potentially Wolf Chain exist in 5 years. You still think you would be operating Wolf Capital successfully?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the bigger their ecosystem is, the easier it is to sustain it. That's always seems the case in majority of any DeFi project. The more resources that you have at your disposal to generate any kind of divs that are, promised to the investor, longer success you have.
And my last question is future revenue sources. So right now you have your portfolio of trading bots, and you mentioned an arbitrage bot in the works.
Yeah.
And potentially way down the road,
blockchain.
Wolf chain. Between those,
I like it.
Between the arbitrage bot and Wolf chain, do you have any other current revenue sources or anything else planned in the short to medium term?
Yeah, we've kind of talked about the NFTs and a possible token. The idea between the NFTs is right now, we kind of want to focus on the arbitrage bot. And once that's released, we'll kind of dig deeper into the NFT. But we're basically leaning towards basically giving you any kind of VIP features, or vice versa. We'll do something similar to like you can get an NFT if you decide you want to burn your initial stake. Kind of any way at all to help out with any kind of sustainability at the end of the day. It's kind of where our focus is.
Okay, so potentially a token, potentially an NFT, things like that coming down the road to expand the ecosystem and create more layers of gamification. It sounds like anything outside of crypto that would further diversify the portfolio in case of that crypto explosion. Do you have any?
Yeah, we've actually talked about getting into possible real estate in Dubai. But again, that's a little further down the road when we're able to basically make a profit at the end of the day. We're not that non-Ponzi part of it. We've kind of talked about getting into some sort of real estate venture in Dubai to help in a way to basically, it'd be helping generate more revenue, I guess, vice versa. But yeah, I don't know. We've talked different outlets. I mean, there's so much more than just crypto to try to generate. But yeah,
and obviously, the crypto trading bots are highly profitable with the numbers that you are showing. So diversifying into something less lucrative, like real estate, which is still lucrative, but like not
it's more long term, but
per day, right?
Right. Yeah.
But it would reduce overall risk and things like that. So you're thinking about those things. Okay. All right. Also, is it true that I saw something about a banner ad going up on one of the websites to even generate additional revenue that way?
Yeah, we've talked about it. I think we're kind of put a pin in it right now. Yeah, we're just not quite there yet. Maybe a little bit more down the road, we'll probably start doing those again. But
got it. All right. And one last thing I forgot to cover earlier. what is the referral fee if someone were to refer another person? Is there like a commission that happens
Yeah.
instantaneously?
Yeah. So, for example, if I click on your referral link, you get 1.5% and I get 1.5%. Instead of it just going to one person, it goes to both. But yeah, that's the gist of it. And it happens automatically into your wallet. So there's no way to go on the site and hit claim or nothing. It's automatically sent to your wallet.
And is that taken out of the 10% deposit fee, or is that on top of it?
I believe it's on top of it.
Okay. All right. Good to know. And for the record, I do not have a referral link or a wolf pack myself. So if you are looking to join somebody's wolf pack, you'll have to find somebody else who is leading a wolf pack. I don't do referral links for DeFi stuff, as many of you know. It helps me stay as unbiased as possible while interviewing the owners of these businesses and projects and the developers, so that way I can be as transparent and objective as possible with how this all works and what the true risks are in relation to the value proposition, so you can accurately make an informed decision based on the risk-reward ratio and your own personal risk tolerance levels, and then you can do what's right for you without me trying to sell you anything. So that's this guy's job, not mine. I'm the TV show host, and I'm here to help you guys understand how this all works. That's all I got. Travis, do you have anything else that you want to tell the audience today?
Man, we really covered everything. I definitely appreciate you having me. It's been great. We've great conversation on this and off this. So yeah.
Hey, I really enjoyed talking with you. I think we'll probably be friends for a long time out here as we build in the space and expand our communities. You're a cool guy. You think similar to me in a lot of ways. You're over there in the Texas area. I'm over here in the Florida area. We've got a lot of similar philosophies and things that we deal with, and then also DeFi is just awesome.
So it is, yeah.
I wish you and your team and your community the best of luck with your project. If anybody watching this wants to find Wolf Capital, how can they find you?
Wolfcapital.app is our website. All of our links to our socials are on there. Our Telegram is more active than our Discord, but we kind of revamped our Discord here the last couple of weeks, added all the same features as our Telegram does. So we're getting a lot more users coming in there, asking questions. So you find us on either one. Twitter, that's also on there. Twitter's been popping off here last couple of weeks, gotten a lot of more new followers. So, but yeah, everything's growing. So
nice. And I'm a Discord guy myself, so you'll find me more active in Discord. Your Telegram, though, is very active.
Yeah.
And the Telegram or the Discord server is growing quickly. So check out Wolf Capital at wolfcapital.app, correct?
Correct.
All right. And that link will be in the description of this video, along with links to their socials. So that's it. I think we covered everything. Travis, thank you so much for your time creating this interview. And I will do my best to get this out in the next couple days. And everybody watching, thank you so much for your time and attention. If you liked this content and want to see more of it, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, hop in the YaBonks Discord server, discord.gg/YaBonks. It's a super bumpin' place. We have a ton of fun, and I share all of my Animal Sanctuary pictures and videos in there. It's a great time. So thanks, everybody, for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.